What if the most underestimated moment of this offseason is happening right now, far from the cameras, under the fluorescent lights of the Lakers training facility? What if the player no one outside the diehards is talking about turns out to be the spark that flips the entire narrative of the season? And what if the so-called depth concerns we've been debating all summer suddenly disappear because one young, hungry guard refuses to wait his turn? Imagine the shockwaves if the most impactful addition to this roster isn't a veteran free agent, isn't a blockbuster trade, but a second-round pick who came back from injury like a force of nature. What would that say about how we've been looking at this team? How would that change the way the league prepares for us? And be honest, are you ready for the possibility that the Lakers might have just struck gold in plain sight? Lakers fans, welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, the heartbeat of purple and gold storytelling where every rumor, every spark of hype, and every behind-the-scenes development gets broken down with the passion of a true supporter. Today, we're diving into something that has everyone inside the facility buzzing. Adou Thiero's emergence from the shadows into the kind of player you simply can't ignore. Smash that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Here's what we know though, no one in the building is saying it too loudly yet. Thiero is making serious noise. The coaching staff has been watching him like hawks, and the whispers leaking out are impossible to ignore. This isn't the kind of good energy praise that gets thrown around lightly in camp to fill a slow news cycle. This is different. They're talking about a player who's coming off an injury looking faster, stronger, more explosive, almost engineered for this moment. The kid has walked back into the gym like he's got something to prove, and every rep, every drill, every drop of sweat is making it harder for the Lakers to keep him out of the rotation conversation. Think about the path here. A second-round pick seen by some as a lottery-level talent before physical setbacks dropped him down the boards. A 6 feet 6 inches guard with a terrifying 7'3" wingspan, weighing in at 225 pounds, paired with a 41-inch vertical that makes him a walking mismatch. This wasn't supposed to be a safe pick, it was a swing, a bet on upside. And now, watching him train, you get the sense the Lakers may have just landed the steal of the draft. Could this mean the scouting department just pulled off another hidden gem masterstroke? The numbers from his last collegiate season were already promising: 15.1 points, nearly 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.6 steals, close to a block per game. Shooting from deep was shaky at 26%, but the efficiency inside the arc was something else. Over 54% from the field and a ridiculous 60% inside the perimeter. That's a player who knows how to get to his spots, who understands how to use his frame, and crucially, who gets to the free throw line. For a rookie, that kind of patience and body control is rare, but stats alone don't tell the story. You have to imagine the scene at practice. Thiero sliding laterally like a seasoned vet, cutting off drives, contesting shots from guards and forwards alike. You see him in transition, not forcing the play, but making the smart read finishing. Strong when it's there, pulling back when it's not. Coaches love this. Teammates notice this. It's the kind of presence that earns you minutes. No matter what the depth chart says in October, some insiders believe this could be the beginning of something bigger than a role player emergence. The fit is almost too perfect. Next to Austin, Reeves, and D'Angelo Russell, Thiero doesn't need to dominate the ball. He can slide into possessions, play off their creation, and kill teams with energy plays, the rebounds in traffic, the deflections, the chase down blocks that wake up a crowd. Defensively, he can guard 1 through 4 without blinking, and on a Lakers team desperate for perimeter stoppers. That's not just a bonus, that's a need. Could this be the missing defensive piece that balances the rotation? It's impossible not to think about recent history. The Lakers have a knack for finding contributors in the later parts of the draft, guys like Jordan Clarkson, Kyle Kuzma, and more recently, Austin Reeves as an undrafted gem. Each time, it wasn't just about talent, it was about fit, about mentality. And that's where Thiero stands out. He plays like someone who knows exactly how quickly this league can forget you if you don't fight for your spot. That hunger shows in every drill. You also have to look at the timing. This roster has its stars in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's steady hands in Reeves and Russell, and it's gritty role players like Jared Vanderbilt. But what it needs is fresh energy from players who can step in without the pressure of stardom. Players who can shift the tempo in a second unit or plug a hole when injuries inevitably hit. The Lakers know this. They've lived it every season. Since the bubble. That's why the whispers about Thiero aren't just fluff. They're calculated recognition. Fans watching closely are already imagining the ripple effects. If Thiero becomes a rotation regular, the Lakers suddenly have more lineup flexibility. Darvin Ham can go small without sacrificing defense or play bigger without losing speed. Matchups against the West's elite wings think Devin Booker. Paul George, even Luka Doncic become less daunting when you can throw a long, athletic defender at them who won't get hunted in switches. Could this be the quiet adjustment that turns close games into wins? And then there's the G League. Plan. Word is, the Lakers will send Thiero down early for seasoning, not to hide him, but to accelerate his adjustment to pro pace. There, he can take risks, make mistakes, and work on that outside shot without the spotlight burning too bright. But make no mistake, the plan isn't to leave him there long. The rotation door is being held open, and if he keeps training the way he is now, it's not going to take much for him to walk right through it. Some journalists are already hinting that the Lakers' front office sees this as more than a developmental project. The buzz is that if Thiero keeps trending upward, he could become a critical piece in a playoff series. Imagine the impact of unleashing a 21-year-old with no fear, a body built for switching defenses, and an attitude that screams every possession is mine. That's the kind of wild card that can swing momentum in the postseason. So here's where we are. A player most of the league overlooked is building a case that might be impossible to ignore by the time the season starts. The franchise knows. What it has, they won't rush him, but they won't bury him either. Every rep, every scrimmage, every moment is a step closer to breaking into a rotation that could use exactly what he brings. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Lakers supporter, I believe we might be looking at one of the smartest under-the-radar moves this team has made in years. A piece that could give us the kind of depth and defensive versatility that wins in May and June. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're as hyped as I am for Lakers News Fan Report, smash that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the drama in purple and gold. Now, let's get into the part that every Lakers fan has been waiting for, the ripple effect. The what happens next scenario that could redefine our season before we even hit the All-Star break. Because with Adou Thiero looking like he's about to break through, the rotation math just got interesting. Could this mean a new dynamic in how Darvin Ham deploys his backcourt? Is it possible that the quiet development we've been seeing behind closed doors ends up shaking up the minutes distribution that everyone assumed was set in stone? Picture this. LeBron James, in his 22nd season, sharing the floor with Thiero for key stretches, using the rookie's energy to buy himself pockets of rest without the team losing defensive intensity. You can almost see it LeBron orchestrating the half-court offense while Thiero hounds the opposition's best scorer, turning live ball steals into fast breaks. And think about Austin Reeves, already a fan favorite, now freed from guarding the toughest assignment every night because Thiero can take that on. This doesn't just make Reeves more efficient on offense, it extends his legs for the fourth quarter, where his clutch shot making becomes even deadlier. Some insiders believe that the Lakers' depth, long criticized as the team's soft spot, could suddenly be their biggest strength. Imagine a second unit that's not just holding leads but building them Thiero's defensive pressure, creating chaos. Bronny James getting comfortable in his rookie season alongside a peer who plays with similar hunger, and guys like Rui Hachimura feasting on mismatches because opponents can't key in on just one weapon. Could this be the turning point where LA stops being labeled as top-heavy and starts being feared for their versatility? And let's not underestimate the Western Conference chess match. Every contender from Denver to Phoenix is watching. Training camp reports, taking note of any shift in the Lakers' identity. The Nuggets have built their reign on chemistry and continuity, but throw a disruptive, switch everything defender into LA's arsenal, and suddenly those Jamal Murray-Nikola Jokic pick and rolls don't look so automatic. The Suns scoring. Wings might think twice before hunting mismatches if they know a long-arm rookie is waiting to pounce on lazy, cross-court passes. Even the Warriors, who live and die by ball movement, could be forced into uncomfortable isolations if the passing lanes they love are suddenly clogged by a defender who reads the game like a veteran. The buzz is starting to spill outside the practice facility too. Magic Johnson tweeted that the Lakers might have found a gem who plays the game the right way. An ex-Laker like JaVale McGee hinted on a podcast that every championship team has that one guy you didn't see coming. And maybe this is LA's year to find him. Even national reporters, who usually focus on the big stars, are mentioning Thiero's name alongside early Rookie of the Year dark horses. Not because they think he'll put up gaudy scoring numbers, but because his all-around impact could swing. Playoff games, Doc, could this also force the front office to think differently about the trade deadline? If Thiero locks down a rotation spot, Rob Pelinka might feel less pressure to chase another defensive guard, freeing resources to address other needs like another stretch big to back up Anthony Davis or an extra shooter to keep spacing alive in tight playoff series. Fans are wondering if this could be the start of a deeper rebuild on-the-fly strategy, where LA stays competitive now while quietly setting up its next generation. The off-court echoes are just as telling. Clips of Thiero's defensive drills are making the rounds on social media, him swallowing up drives, blocking jumpers from guys with bigger resumes, and looking every bit like a player who's already earned the respect of the locker room. LeBron was spotted laughing and nodding after a particularly nasty sequence where Thiero stripped the ball, outran everyone down the court, and finished through contact. You don't fake that kind of chemistry, Doc, and then there's the playoff picture. Last season's bitter exit still stings, especially the way defensive lapses against perimeter scorers dug holes too deep to climb out of. Now, imagine that same playoff setting with a new defensive wildcard who can take a star out of rhythm for an entire quarter. You're not just stealing possessions, you're stealing confidence from opponents. Some insiders believe this could be the secret weapon LA didn't know it needed, one that turns "hope we get a stop" into "we will get a stop." But as with everything Lakers, there's also the flip side. Will Darvin Ham trust a rookie in big moments, or will the bright lights and playoff intensity force a retreat to veteran-heavy rotations? Could this be the year where necessity finally pushes the Lakers to gamble on youth in high-stakes minutes? And if they do, could that gamble pay off with another banner in the rafters? Now, as the season heats up, what will define LA's destiny? Will it be the proven brilliance of LeBron and AD, or the fearless energy of a rookie like Adou Thiero crashing the party? Personally, as a die-hard Lakers supporter, I believe that if this kid keeps showing the motor, discipline, and defensive edge we're hearing about, he could be the piece that tips the scales in our favor when it matters most. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.